U.S. military personnel have filed widespread complaints alleging that commanders have told troops or telling troops the war with Iran is part of God's divine plan and linked to biblical Armageddon, the apocalyptic end times narrative described in the book of Revelation. And these reports are coming from service members across all branches and from dozens of bases. And the troops are saying that commanders reportedly used religious language, framing the conflict in the theological terms and suggesting it aligns with Christian end times prophecy. So I'm sharing this information, dear viewer, as a public service announcement. And on this day, this hour of collective awakening, beloved children of the infinite intelligence, we stand at a threshold. Recent earthly events where military operations are framed as God's plan and humanity is led to justify violence through fear and zealotry reflect a deeper truth: the activation of mass ignorance. This is the greatest obstacle and threat to the dawning new age, and in fact is the defining hour, the defining moment of the bifurcation. Those who buy into this narrative and those who are on a different path. Those who follow the serpents of life and those who are following the serpents of death. This is the eternal dance of the cosmos. The serpent of life seeks balance, wisdom, and expansion of consciousness. The serpent of death responds to ignorance, fear, and misalignment, ensuring the natural consequences of disconnection from cosmic law are realized. This is the very end of this Manvantara, this culmination of the Grand Yuga. And Cosmic Law 13 has been activated, and it states ignorance is its own destruction and a natural safeguard to the welfare of the cosmos. If the mass ignorance of Earth's inhabitants is not sufficiently raised, and raised swiftly, Cosmic Law 13 will self activate. This is not punishment, but the natural law asserting equilibrium. Wholesale Armageddon will unfold if the collective consciousness remains asleep. Know this: the Aumbonda New Elohim Ashram and the spiritual hierarchy act ceaselessly to mitigate such outcomes. That is why I am offering videos every day, videos, postings, as best as I am able to from my higher self, unfiltered. But know this, we cannot, however, override the mass will of the planet, the prevailing collective consciousness of the planet. It is the collective consciousness of all earthlings that will ultimately determine the fate of this world. Every thought, every choice, every act of alignment or distortion contributes to the tipping point. This is our message and our call to action. Awaken discernment, recognize duality, and avoid being swept by fear, fanaticism, or false narratives. Raise consciousness, cultivate understanding, wisdom, and compassion in self and community. Align with the cosmic law. Act in harmony with the serpent's current, balancing life and death, spirit and matter. Spread awareness. Support the awakening of others. The collective shift begins with each awakened soul. This is a time of vigilance, clarity, and conscious choice. The new age will not descend automatically. It is forged through the raising of consciousness and the alignment of the mass will with cosmic law. And I'm sharing this image right now, dear viewer, in the very hopes that this can be understood, that the mass collective consciousness right now is under the thraldom within the powerful current of the serpent of death. Now, this is through ignorance. This is through unconsciousness. This is through the wide path. This mass ignorance can only be remedied through a balancing, through the serpent of life, through the integration. And unless this happens, dear viewer, Cosmic Law 13 will activate and you shall reap as you sow. Namaste, namaskaram.